Hey, welcome back to the shop here in Toronto. This is James. Just want to go over a little bit about the Grobet files. These are the files that we use to do our final ferrule fitting. They're fairly expensive files. They're 8 inches long, and principally we use in bamboo rod making a number 6 and a number 8. Number 6 has 173 teeth per inch, and the number 8 has 295. So if you can imagine, there's 300 little cuts in 1 inch. So they work extremely well. They take a really nice fine cut. The problem with these files is they load up very quickly, then they're not cutting properly, and then in fact they don't cut at all. So you need to clean your file all the time, and you can actually feel it when you're running across the material. You'll feel it bite, and after a number of tries you'll stop feeling it biting, which means that it's fully loaded up. So traditionally with files, people talk about loading them up with soap and then using a traditional brush like this to clean them out. The problem is these brushes don't work because the serrations on these files are way too fine, so these teeth or these brushes don't go in there, so it doesn't work all that well, although that's what Bailey suggests in his suggestions. But what you really want is you want a comb that has 295 teeth per inch, and you can push that comb through, and you can accomplish that by using a soft piece of metal with a sharp corner, and by loading that into the file you'll essentially make teeth on it, which becomes your comb, which will push the junk right out the edge of the file. You'll notice on this file there's a handle. You should always use a handle on a file when you're using it with a lathe. It's a safety issue. So I've taken the handle off my number 8 to clean it. And the other thing you're going to have to find is you're going to have to find something that is thinner than the file, because I can't get the piece of metal all the way through. So find something that is thinner than the file. I've got this old piece of saw blade which I'll use, and now when I push this through I'm able to get it all the way through and it'll clean it out. So have a look at the file and you'll see that the teeth are cut at an angle. So you want to take your device that you're going to use to clean it and run it at the same angle. So I'm going to bend down here and have a look. And then I'm just going to slowly push this piece of aluminum. I would say aluminum or brass. Brass may be a little bit better. I just didn't have any. And finding the angle of the serrations. Just keep working this through. The file is essentially cutting teeth into my poor man's comb. And I can see it. You may be able to see it, I don't know. I'm using an iPad and I don't think it zooms. I have to maybe figure that out someday. But what you see here, all of that stuff, let's see if I can bring it up. All of that stuff was lodged inside the teeth of the file, and I was able to get it out using the comb. So if you've got these Grobet files, they're probably really dirty, so clean them out. After a while, if this teeth gets dull on here, just cut it off with a hacksaw or mill it and get yourself some good round square edges. I just wrote on here so I'll remember which profile. I've got a 4, 6, and an 8. But when I look at this now, there's a little bit of aluminum residue in there, which that may come off with a little file. But basically I can feel the teeth extremely well on this file. So they're all clean. Here the other side I can feel is really bad. So let's just wipe this off. Put this back there. Find my number 8. There we go. And this side is actually dirtier. And you would not believe the amount of crud coming off this file. Now, these files are expensive. I think they're the better part of $40 or $50 or $60. The number 8 somewhere in there. So you want to treat it, like a precision instrument. Keep the thing clean, and it'll do a much better job for you. Hopefully you can see in the camera there's a fair amount of stuff that was stuck in that file and it wasn't allowing the file to work properly. So if you got some Grobet files, get them out, get them clean. If you don't have any Grobet files, you may want to consider buying them for final ferrule work. I use a number 6 to start, and then I use a number 8, which I just use for the final passes. But you shouldn't have to use much of them, but with the precision micrometer, these 2 files, and then some very fine polishing papers, you can get a great fit on those ferrules. Have a great day. Hopefully you're building some rods somewhere. See you in the shop soon.